Here we go.
Good morning. That one or two that are watching me, probably no one. But anyway, your friendly neighborhood conservative ex-con here, Fernando Rivera Jr. with the common sense and random shit show. Yes, I am streaming on 3 YouTube, Rumble, and X. Yes, I've been going on X. I've been going back and forth. Am I? X, Rumble, YouTube? Yeah, I get confused because I go on and off because ScrewTube, YouTube is with the bullshit sometimes. A lot of times, especially with the algorithm. Totally against anyone who is a Trump supporter. But it's whatever. And as I always say, breaking news. No, this is not the place. I want to be a little different than anyone else. As a meaning that if you get something out of this and it's breaking, all right, great. But it's not. And I have no script. I pushed live before I was actually ready. But I didn't want to go on too late because this is kind of the best time for me. I was thinking about going on at 7, but I do have to do stuff after I finish the show and then go right into work. It's one of those weeks where I work a lot. Someone's off at one of my jobs. So obviously there are more hours, so it helps a little bit. Anyway, 3 jobs. Just saying, like 2 genders. Not really. But anyway, title of the show, MAGA. What is MAGA? Simply put, make America great again. I don't understand, and I never will, what is so offensive about that. Why we're such a cult. So when has making America great again, when did it turn into bad, something bad? I mean, I'll never get that, but it's whatever. You know, I got a video at the end of the show that I'll close out with. That's Jason Corsey again, put together, and I think it's amazing. It pretty much explains what MAGA is. Now, socialism. You know, I have an idea, because genius, I am not. I just have common sense. But I actually looked it up just to know specifically. And I'll read it, just in case you don't know. You never know. Socialism is a political and economic theory advocating for social ownership and democratic control of the means of production. It generally involves a system where the community or the state owns or regulates the major resources and industries, rather than private individuals or corporations. Socialism is often characterized by its emphasis on social equality, public welfare, and cooperation. If you're smart, you know what that means. Communism. Communism is a political and economic ideology that advocates for a society where the state owns the major resources and the means of production, aiming for a classless society with equal distribution of wealth and resources. You know, I gotta say, it sounds interesting enough. Let me get out of this. It's like Thomas Sowell says, sounds like a good idea until it's put into play. Just I'm ad-libbing. It could be a little different than that. Actually, I have the video. Check this video out. Interesting as far as the subject of the day. It's Thomas Sowell, economist. What are the geniuses of our time? And I put a clip right after a couple seconds of him explaining something about socialism. It's Reagan, one of our greatest presidents of all time. And see if he reminds you of somebody now. You'll see. Just watch this.
More recently, during the election, all this enthusiasm for Bernie Sanders was taking place while people in Venezuela, under a socialist government, with lots of oil,
a rich country, a rich in natural resources country.
Rich in natural resources country, was starving. They were breaking into grocery stores to get desperate to get food. They're going into other countries to try to find something to eat. And the two things never came together. And they saw socialism as an idea. Socialism has always been a wonderful sounding idea. It's only when you put it into practice that you discover that there are real problems.
To negotiate many times.
Negotiate? What is to negotiate? What is...
Well, university is a public institution.
That's
it's an
right.
important institution
But the university...
for all of its own community and for the community of Berkeley that live around it.
All of it began the first time some of you who know better and are old enough to know better let young people think that they had the right to choose the laws they would obey as long as they were doing it in the name of social protest.
I'm sick and tired of the argument about whether some effort to enforce law and order is going to escalate anything at all. Plain truth of the matter is this has to stop, and it has to stop like the day before yesterday. And it's going to be stopped whatever it takes.
I was picked at a few days ago in California by some youngsters that had signs that said, "Make love, not war." Trouble is, they didn't look like they were capable of doing either. There are cities in Michigan... Oh, shut up. I don't think that taking to the streets and rioting and disorder has ever solved anything or ever will.
Plain truth of the matter is this has to stop, and it has to stop like the day before yesterday. And it's going to be stopped whatever it takes.
I would like to propose that the issue is that on the campuses, you, who are adults, you who are entrusted with those young people and their guidance, have a responsibility to make it plain to them from the very beginning that you yourselves do not tolerate the kind of conduct that has led to the burning of Wheeler Hall, that has led to 2 murders on the campus of UCLA.
You created an atmosphere on the campus where no one wants to listen.
You are a liar.
Listen to.
Now, don't you talk about political speeches. Don't you make a political speech of that kind. Those who would trade our freedom for the soup kitchen of the welfare state have told us they have a utopian solution of peace without victory. They call their policy accommodation. And they say if we'll only avoid any direct confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love us. All who oppose them are indicted as warmongers. They say we offer simple answers to complex problems. Well, perhaps there is a simple answer. Not an easy answer, but simple. Unless we realize we're in a war that must be won. Those who would trade our freedom for the soup kitchen of the welfare state have told us they have a utopian solution of peace without victory. They call their policy accommodation. And they say if we'll only avoid any direct confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love us. All who oppose them are indicted as warmongers. They say we offer simple answers to complex problems. Well, perhaps there is a simple answer. Not an easy answer, but simple. If you and I have the courage to tell our elected officials that we want our national policy based on what we know in our hearts is morally right, we cannot buy our security, our freedom from the threat of the bomb, by committing an immorality so great as saying to 1 billion human beings now enslaved behind the Iron Curtain, give up your dreams of freedom, because to save our own skins, we're willing to make a deal with your slave masters. Alexander Hamilton said, a nation which can prefer disgrace to danger is prepared for a master and deserves one.
Yep. Now, granted, as I said, genius, I am not. But I can tell a difference. And, and I can't sit here and tell you that I have history with socialism because, I'm Puerto Rican American here. You know what I'm saying? There's no socialism in Puerto Rico. There was, however, I've never lived there for any long periods of time. But from what I heard, you know what I'm saying? They had a Democratic governor who was a piece of shit. I'm sorry. Apparently, I think the last I heard there was a conservative who's going to be governor or is now. I'm not sure. I haven't paid attention. Imagine that. Puerto Rican American. I don't know what the hell's going on in Puerto Rico. They don't. Honestly, I don't care. Kind of. I do. But, because I don't think I have any. Do I have any family down there? I don't know. Again, no script. Ad-libbing. Just whatever. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. It is what it is. As I always say. Old school. Anyway, let me get rid of this. As I said, this is live. And as I've said before, I prefer doing live. I've done where I record it and then post it and And I was always looking forward to go live. I was like, I can't wait to go live. I can't wait to go live. But before I found out that I can use a third-party app or website, I didn't need 50 subscribers on ScrewTube. Before I actually got to 50, before I finally realized I didn't need 50 to use third-party apps or websites. Even after that, after I started going live, I said, let me just, because I could do more. I could do background music and shit with dancers. No, not really. But I could do more better production, all that. But I prefer to do live. So if I'm going to F up, I'm going to F up. Sorry. Because I want you to see me when you see me. And that's that. It's not going to be later. It's like, yeah, well, that was him this morning. No, it's me right now. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I'm going to F up here and there. So let me get to where I want to go, and is a part of the show, again, live. Fernando Rivera Jr. like to call random shit breaking news. I don't know. We'll see. But again, I'm a little slow. All right, come on, let's go. Open. This is embarrassing. Oh, that's why, because I didn't push the button. Okay, random shit. Mostly on X. So let's get to some of this stuff. Last night, I missed all of Jesse Waters. I like watching Jesse Waters. Jesse Waters, he's one of the most entertaining news hosts, opinion hosts, whatever you want to call him. But let me see. Breaking. So apparently this was 10 hours ago? The Patriot Oasis. Jesse Water talked about this last night. Let's hear what he has.
Fox News alert. We're learning tonight 6 Secret Service agents that were connected to Trump's Butler assassination attempt have been suspended. This comes just days shy of the shooting's anniversary. The identities of the agents suspended are unknown, but sources say their roles range from supervisory positions to line-level agents. We'll continue to monitor this story and bring you any updates as they come. Fox News alert. We're alerting.
I kind of missed this last night, but it's like with James Comey and Brennan. There is a long list of democraps, far left piece of shit, human beings, evil people that need to get arrested. Hillary, Pelosi, Cheney, Schiff. I can go on all day. So, FBI seeking military vet suspected in ICE ambush at Texas detention facility. Imagine that. How do these people get radicalized? I'll never get. I can guess. If you don't like America, go back to your shithole countries. Agreed. 2 thumbs up. Just saying. Random shit. Just saying. And my favorite person, I believe this is the next one. What does it say? This is Midtown Manhattan. No, after this one. Yesterday. What benefits do these radicals bring to America?
That's what we're going to do. Told you. All right,
What happened in the last 10 years? Is it TDS? Is that all part of the TDS of the Trump derangement syndrome that everyone pretty much has? Anyone that's not in the right or has common sense at all whatsoever? And I believe this is the next one. Is this it? Yeah, Rep. Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett shit. Violence is all coming from MAGA, not the left. Even the 2 who tried killing Trump are Trump supporters. Were. Whatever they say. Listen to this. Listen to this idiot.
The violence doesn't come from Democrats, just to be clear. I mean, obviously anyone can be a criminal, but it is MAGA. It's specifically MAGA faction. Like, I don't think traditional Republicans are getting engaged in all of this, but like even when we look at and they don't talk about the assassination attempts anymore that took place with Donald Trump, but these were Trump supporters, right? As well as this most recent situation, they tried to flip it and say, oh, the leftists are, I'm like, this doesn't even make sense, right? But it's only like MAGA that does this. The violence doesn't come.
First of all, she looks like Big Bird. That's the dumbest dress. I talked to her about this before. Look at this. What is it with the pads? To tackle the press. Fake eyelash and wearing wannabe ghetto chick. But anyway, I got that. And one of the channels that I follow, I think it was either John Talks 2, they put a funny video out of this together, and I wanted to share that. Where's my thing at? You know, I was gonna try to put one together myself, but I didn't get it. I haven't had a chance to. But check this out. This is hilarious.
The violence doesn't come from Democrats, just to be clear. I mean, obviously anyone can be a criminal, but it is MAGA. It's specifically MAGA faction. Like, even when we look at and they don't talk about the assassination attempts anymore that took place with Donald Trump, but these were Trump supporters, right?
It's false.
As well as this most recent situation, they tried to flip it and say, oh, the leftists are, I'm like, this doesn't even make sense, right?
Yeah, you can say that again.
But it's only like MAGA that does this. But it's only like MAGA that does this.
Are you retarded?
Yes! And anybody who believes her is retarded! Holy shit, that's the wrong thing. Hold on. Bam! Magic! See how I moved that shit without touching. Shit on her face. Piece of shit. Jasmine Crocker shit. I can't stand that woman. Who can? I don't understand how this woman got in office. DEI? Anyone? Just saying. Random shit. Let's go. Let's go. All right. What are this? Oh, look at this. Let's see what he has to say. John Brennan. He compares it to Nazi Germany. John Brennan says the investigation into him and James Comey for their role in the Russia collusion hoax is the authoritarian playbook.
So many times. And unfortunately, I think we're seeing it play out. And a number of academics and writers have pointed out that Carl Schmitt, who was a German jurist, political philosopher and writer in the 1930s, his thesis, which Nazi Germany basically took up, was don't worry about doing something that is ethical or principled or good or right. Do whatever you can to win, vanquish your adversaries, vanquish your enemies. And unfortunately, we have seen that happening overseas. We've seen it in Viktor Orban in Hungary. We've seen it with Vladimir Putin. We see it in China, other places. We see it also in terms of, some of the foreign policies that are being implemented, including, in the Middle East right now. So I really am very worried that what we're seeing now in this chapter of American history is a sad deterioration of, I think, the respect for the rule of law and for.
I can't even listen. Rule of law, huh? Where was the rule of law when they went after Trump, their political opponent? There was none. At all. It was just straight, get Trump, no matter what, at all cost. If we can't get him legally, let's kill him. These people are dirtbags. POS, evil, and is what is the saying? Whatever the Democrats accuse the conservatives of, they're doing themselves. Facts. Just saying. Okay. Check out this Trump deranged psychopath getting triggered by the American flag and fencing around the White House.
So not only do we have full Nazi shit that I showed you in a second, you can't quite see it, but there's like full American flags draped on the executive office building. But we now currently, that's all fencing going for 3 blocks around the White House, all the way around. So the American people can now, at this moment, not access their seat of government because it is protecting a war criminal. I would like that to sink in. The American people in a so-called democracy cannot access its seat of government because
you're gonna love this. This is awesome.
Anyway, as you can probably tell by now, this bitch has absolutely no idea what the fuck she's doing. So we're probably going to have a new apprentice show to find the new attorney general. But this bitch gots to go.
Thank you, Linda. I definitely have absolutely no idea what the fuck I'm doing. And I definitely deserve to be fired. So anyway, thank you, everybody, and have a nice day. Oh, and Epstein didn't kill himself. Bye, everybody.
AI is the shit. I just gotta say. That was pretty good. I like that one. All right, what is this? Breaking. JFK Airport officials have issued a travel advisory warning after Islamists have surrounded the airport, calling for a global intifada. Why?
You're chanting to kill Jews! You're chanting to kill Jews like myself! What is wrong with you, anti-Semitic freaks?
You guys don't talk now? You guys don't talk now. What do the police have to do with it? What do the police have to do with it? Oh, now you guys speak!
That was good. You're done too. Next, 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds is disgusting.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Come on up. Enjoy your terrorist rag. Come on, let's go. You're next. Come on. What's your name? I'm the chairman. I can say what I want. If you don't like it, you can leave. Come on. You're next. I'll clear the room, and then we can move on if I hear one more outburst. I don't have to have any of you sit here. One more. I'll clear the room, we'll debate, and we'll vote. You're recognized for 30 seconds. What's your name?
Given any type of...
You gotta love this shit. How Florida deals with pro-Hamas supporters. That's how you do it. Fuck them. Yep. Hear me out. Just saying. Let's see here. What does this one say? Gary M. Elected officials in Manhattan will unveil new legislation to stop ICE agents from wearing masks to conceal their identities. Should ICE agents be allowed to cover their faces to protect themselves and their families? Yes, 100%. I get it. I'm going to be honest. Not that I can be. Not only am I old, but trust me, I wish I could be. I wouldn't wear a mask. I don't have kids. Yes, I have a wife, but I pretty much welcome someone to try to take me out. Just saying. Anyway, Trump girl, she's a hero. Our justice system is broken. This is proof. Watch this.
Not guilty of...
Look at this guy.
Sarah was sentenced to life in prison for the SHOOT. Ethan Cole MURDER, her 8-year-old daughter. In court, Sarah watched in disbelief as her 8-year-old daughter's KILL, Ethan Cole, walked out of the courtroom with a smirk on his face. The jury's not guilty verdict caused an immediate uproar in a courtroom that seemed calm amid the chaos. Sarah reached into her pocket, pulled out a weapon, and without hesitation, pulled the trigger. Ethan Cole fell to the ground after 3 loud explosions, and the courtroom was thrown into chaos. The officer subdued Sarah, but she didn't resist. She remembers hearing her daughter's body dumped by the river, and he discovered Cole's twisted version that her 8-year-old daughter had seduced him. Sarah seeks revenge only for her daughter. Now Sarah, who was originally the victim, faces MURDER charges. Sarah's concealed weapon suggested premeditation, which police said was carefully planned and presented as key evidence during the trial. In sentencing, the judge called it a tragedy for both parties and sentenced Sarah to life in prison.
Wow.
What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments section.
What do you think about that? I'd pardon her if you can.
Not guilty.
Socialism. Ideas so good that they have to be mandatory. Pretty much. As you can see, socialism has failed every time. But I saw on TikTok that socialism is good. Pretty much liberal. Fascism and communism are not two opposites, but two rival gangs fighting over the same territory, based on the collectivist principle that man is the rightless slave of the state. Socialism is better than capitalism. When the Berlin Wall fell, who ran to which side? Since we're on that subject, here's an idea. A reality show where socialist college students are sent to a country that closely resembles their desired political system and left to survive for a few months. Good one. Fascism, Nazism, communism, and socialism are only superficial variations of the same monstrous theme. You know, I saw this, I can't even see that. It pisses me off. The idiocracy. But I saw this one thing. Let me see if I can find it. I was on Substack yesterday. And I hope I don't bore you here, but Joe Cap wrote this article that I thought was very interesting. And it is entitled, Are MAGA, Make America Great Again? Nazis. No, the left are. You know, and I tried to listen. You know, it says if you're more of a reader than a listener, no worries, the full article is below. I tried to listen to it and then read it at the same time. Obviously, I went faster for some reason. I guess he was slow. He was going slow. But anyway, the Nazis did not take over power. They were given it by disarmed, demoralized people desperate for order. William Shire. Now, bear with me, since we're on the subject today. This is sort of informative. I thought this was interesting. I saw this one guy who posted a reply to this. I mean, I get what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? Last night, my wife Ellie and I watched the movie Judgment at Nuremberg. Okay. Her first time, my fifth, such a powerful film. It tells a true story of 4 Nazi judges on trial for enforcing Hitler's reign of terror from the bench. Spencer Tracy, Burt Lancaster, just legendary. Right when we were about to call it a night, Ellie turned to me and said, how could so many ordinary people embrace socialism like that and allow their own government to do such terrible things? Then she paused, looked at me dead in the eyes, and me with this bombshell. It also makes me wonder, how could so many Americans ignore what happened there and support socialism today? Boom! You feel that? That was a reality check straight to the soul. You know, we used to laugh at the fringe left back when socialism was something only crusty professors and hippie burnouts whispered about in campus basements. But now, the freaks run the asylum. The radicals hold the reins. And while they call Trump's Nazi and you a fascist, they're the ones resurrecting the ideology that birthed genocide. Let's get something straight. The Nazi Party's full name was the National Socialist German Workers' Party, not capitalist, not free market, not conservative, socialist. The state came first. The individuals didn't matter, and the mission was total control. Today's left wants the exact same thing. They just swapped brown uniforms for rainbow flags and Ivy League diplomas. Bernie Sanders has spent decades demanding centralized government control, especially over healthcare. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, piece of shit Spanish American, is out there running anti-oligarch tours with Bernie like she's gonna excuse me, like she's kind of revolutionary hero. And then there's Zohran Mamdani, the Democratic nominee in New York City's upcoming mayoral race, who is openly pushing race-based taxation and other Marxist lunacy. Ordinarily, would ignore the mad circus of delusion, but millions of Americans are buying into it. Hook, line, and syringe. And that means these aren't harmless ideas anymore. If Mamdani wins, those ideas metastasize into law in our nation's largest city, and then the movement will spread at light speed, like the cancer it is. Never happened? Are you sure? It already has. After World War I, Germany was gutted. The Treaty of Versailles humiliated them. Hyperinflation obliterated their middle class. People needed wheelbarrows of cash to buy bread. Crime exploded. Desperation replaced dignity. And the average German, angry, broke, and afraid, was ripe for a savior. That's when the Nazis arrived with the golden promises of socialism, jobs, order, national pride. They blamed the usual scapegoats, Jews, capitalists, globalists, and wrapped tyranny in the language of salvation. Why did the people fall for it? Because socialism didn't march in with a gun. It knocked with a gift. It gave the poor a voice, the broken a purpose, the hopeless an enemy, and the angry a cause. With socialism, the fall never comes overnight. It creeps in quietly. The press stops in reporting and starts repeating. Opposition is smeared, then jailed. Churches are labeled threats. Property is seized for the greater good. Elections turn into theater. Dissent becomes domestic terrorism. And your right to bear arms, gone. Because a disarmed population is a submissive one. Sound familiar? It should. We were a hair's length from being there. Pretty interesting. Let me see. Okay. For more than a decade, the American left followed the same sinister scripts that destroyed free nations before us, including Germany. They didn't charge in with tanks. They infiltrated with policies, slowly, deliberately. It's kind of long, so I didn't realize it was that long. I thought I was going to read it faster. But it's an interesting story. It's on Substack. Look them up, Joe Cap. I will put a link in the description. They're very interesting. You can actually listen to it or read it. I prefer to read it for some reason. Don't ask me why. But I will end it there because I don't want to make the show too long today. I'm going to try to cut it down little by little. I just wanted to get to that. And not that anybody is interested, but it's out there. It's facts. Thomas Sowell says it. Sowell, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Trump says it. Any conservative with common sense, any conservative outlet, socialism it sounds like a great idea, but let's be real, it isn't. Other countries have proven so. Just do your research. Let me get rid of this. Yeah, I'm sorry if I threw anyone off today with not a lot of silliness, because I like to do a lot of silliness because I can be a clown. I love being a clown. It is what it is. And I am by myself, so this is why you see me fidgeting. But as I said, I want to make this show short. But let's get back to MAGA. What is MAGA? Jason Corsey. We had two videos that I posted before. One was FAFO, fuck around, find out. The other one was America First. I just posted this the other day. But this video from his channel, I'm going to put the link in the description. MAGA. What is MAGA? Well, this video is probably one of the best videos I've seen to put it in to context and explanation. And if you disagree, then you deserve whatever bullshit and shit hits you in the face when shit hits the fan. That's all I'm saying. So, guys, I love you. Thanks for watching. I am going to close out, let the video play, and then outro. I will see you guys tomorrow. As I said, links will be in the description. If you like watching this guy and like to see a little more of me, please help the channel out. There's links in the description. Merch store, kind of. When I get there, I don't have a lot of followers. I don't have a lot of subscribers. I get it. So please subscribe, please like, please share, please comment. My email, it will be in the description. If you want to email me and threaten me, go right ahead. More power to you. It's a free country still. And it is what it is. Stay true I gotta get ready. What an idiot. To the red, white, and blue. Peace out, everyone. Hoo-ha! Yeah. Latest.
From the faintest spark, arises the mightiest flame. A flicker that awakens the spirit within us. This spirit is the core of our identity. Nourished by this spark, a fire erupts. Spreading beyond our individual selves and engulfing the nation. It sweeps across the Republic. We, the people, fuel this flame. The embers glowing brilliantly in red, white, and blue. This fire is our energy, our passion. It defines who we are. And who are we? Who are we? We are patriots. Men and women. True Americans. Faithful Americans. Unyielding Americans. We refuse to be defined by others. We define ourselves. Call us a cult, but we honor our Constitution. Call us a cult, but we cherish life. Call us a cult, but we are the guardians of liberty. Label us as you wish. It falls on deaf ears. We are black, white, yellow, red. People of all kinds, creeds, and colors. What unites us is what we believe. Our unity is forged from within. We champion this movement, and we rally behind a man, an imperfect man, just like us. Prosecute him, we will stand firm. Persecute him, we will only grow louder. Imprison him, we will become invincible. Do your worst, for this is not just about one man. It's about our nation, our values, our resolve. These cannot be broken. They will endure, immortalized in history. We stand together on unbreakable foundations. Foundations rooted in the Word, in truth, in light. The cornerstones are unshakable, unassailable, impenetrable. We are here to stay. We are growing. We are united. We are MAGA.